Hey guys, so I'm about to head into Adelaide where we're having a protest today for gel blasters. Hopefully we get a good turnout. Just want to quickly show you some of the posters I made. I was only able to make them A4, but I did share them online, so hopefully some people will make them bigger. This first one points out that you can legally own a knife, you can own a nail gun, you can own a compound bow without any kind of a license, and those can actually kill people. A gel blaster now requires a firearms license, which is quite a lengthy process to go through, and it's completely non-lethal. The second one points out that even if you do go through the process of getting a gun license, a real gun is less restricted on where you can use it. So a real gun can be used on private property, gel blaster can't. A real gun can be used at a shooting range, a gel blaster can't. A real gun is lethal, a gel blaster is not. Anyway, that's just a quick update before I head in. I'll catch up with you once we're there. How do these new changes to the legislation of gel blasters affect you personally?
Well mate, I come here last year with a shoebox full of parts. I started my business from there. I borrowed money off friends and family to start myself up, paid them all back, and then I've now released 20,000 of my super to invest in my business. Been given 11 hours notice that I'm no longer allowed to run a business. You know, I'm buggered, mate. I got so much money's worth of stock, and who's going to give me the money for it? No one. You know, I'm buggered, as is everyone here. Not only in my stock, but my personal and my kids' stuff. I've got over $15,000 worth of blasters just for my family, not even including my business. Who's going to pay me money for that? No one. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jesse from Safari Zuma Tactical. At the start of the COVID pandemic, I lost my job, and Douglas, that owns Safari Zuma Tactical, was kind enough to give me a job. It's the best job I've ever had, and I spent the last couple of days calling customers, having to tell them that we can't have their blasters here, you have to come pick them up, and then waking up the next day to not know if I even will have a job tomorrow. It's absolutely devastating. I don't even know how Douglas and Irene are reacting to this, because they've lost their entire livelihoods. Like, I've lost my job again. I'm back to the unemployment line after being employed for the past couple months, all because of this silly ban.
Do you happen to have any idea of how many other people would be out of a job now as well?
I would say at least 100. At least 100, couple hundred easy. All the shops, all the fields, they're all having to shut. We simply can't stay open because of this. It's not practical. Everyone's going to lose out. There's no buyback, there's no compensation for the damage that SAPOL have caused by doing this.
FJ. Been smashing your post out, brother, getting the word out, rallying the troops, man.
Alrighty, cool.
Yeah.
Now,
good man, how are you?
Just some extra.
Good to see you, dude. Thanks for coming out.
The police have just said they're on their way. Apparently there's only 4 coming, but what we got to do is we're going to stay very, very socially distanced, pretty much as we can, without, you know, like just pissing off all over the place.
It's another way that they're trying to control what we're doing.
And when we're on our way to the police headquarters itself, what we're going to do is we're going to stay along the south side of the street and protest from south side of the street once we get there. Because otherwise, apparently, they're going to pick us up for loitering.
Yeah, and that's what we had to do on Thursday. We weren't allowed to be on the same side as the station. We had to be over to the other side. So
we'll get as many as we can, like sort of directly in front of the like headquarters without spilling out onto the road. But if it gets to that point, what we'll do is we'll begin spreading out just along the road.
So they need to be treated as toys. They are designed as a toy. They were designed specifically to play a sport which is intended to be harmless to people. So it's ridiculous that they are classifying them as a firearm at this time. It's going to be an absolute nightmare because so many people enjoy these things. It's going to change the age limit to 18 plus. You've got to do a firearms license, you've got to have a safe, costs hundreds of dollars. Every year they're going to charge you $100 just to own it. So it's ridiculous. Here, if people want to join up, they can go to our website, which is ldp.org.au. There's a free associate membership there, and joining that, we can get back in touch with you and help us keep the party membership up, and we'll be able to run in the next election and just give the message to the major parties that they need to stop running over people's rights on this issue.
Now they're saying that they do use compressed air to fire when they don't. It's not only just people playing with toys, it's people's mental health, it's people's my social life, it's all these people here, it's their social lives for some of them. It's the only thing that they do. Some of these people used to just sit at home and play Call of Duty or Modern Warfare on the computer. They've gotten out and they're getting exercise. There's people here that have got weight issues that are getting out and getting exercise that normally wouldn't have done this.
Will you be applying for a firearms license?
Yes, I will. I will have to if I want to stay have a job. Yes. But this might take 6 to 8 months before I can have any income again.
So, how much is this cost? Is this costing you your livelihood, basically?
Well, it has costed me my life. It might even cost me my house. I can't afford to live where I am now.
So where will you play?
Well, all I've done is allow people to just come and play Nerf at my usual venue as a substitute. But now, if I get the license, I'll have to find a venue that does allow gel blasters.
So you've said it would take about 6 to 8 months to get a license. Can you talk about that process?
Well, the backlog, if you look at the SAPOL firearms website, it says that they're processing applications, firearm license applications from August. Now that this has happened, their backload is probably going to increase by 300 to 400%. So it's going to take maybe 6 to 8 months to get a license.
And people have to do a course, do they, to get the license?
Yes, and that's another thing, is it says on the SAPOL website that you can't do the course at the moment because TAFEs are closed due to COVID, and that's a lie. I rang up TAFE and they said that they're open since July. So they're lying to you on the website.
Not necessary to be on a firearms license, considering now everybody that's going to go and plug up the system getting a firearms license, the thousands of dollars they have to put into that, and also the fact that now they can purchase real firearms. Okay, if the police are worried about people misusing gel blasters, imagine what happens when some fresh teen decides to go on their firearms license. You know, they can get a gun, they can rob with a real gun, you know. At least if somebody's robbed by a toy, there's no harm done.
When will you be able to play and where?
There is nowhere to play currently. Okay, most of the fields have had to shut down. The field that I work for, the Special Unicorn Club, has closed down because we have no way of obtaining a license. They just wouldn't allow it in the zoning for where our field is.
So 6 months from today, if you do get a license, you might not even be able to play anyway?
Correct. At this point, there's only a couple of places that hold paintball licenses to hold gel ball events. But the problem is nobody's going to be allowed to do that unless they already have a firearms license and that their gel blasters are registered. So it's cut down the community from a whopping 100%, probably down to about 20% of the original community. It's taken 2 years to get to where we are. It just started to boom, the industry's just started to take off, and they've just shut it down.
What about other states? Do you know how it operates in other states?
In Queensland, they have, you know, a similar way of doing things that we had, except they have kind of harsher laws in place for people that misuse gel blasters. I'm all for giving people who do the wrong thing the penalties. They deserve what they get. When you are given a gel blaster, when you purchase a gel blaster, there is an expectation from the retailer and there is information given that states that you should use them responsibly. Don't wade them in public, just use common sense. Okay? We wanted to pull across the Stop and Think campaign from Queensland as well. We brought that to SAPOL over a year ago. They wouldn't adopt it. They didn't believe there was any point.
So you'll keep fighting? This isn't the end?
No, I've got too much at stake to say goodbye to such a brilliant sport.
Myself as a business owner, running gel ball events and paintball events at paintball fields, it's going to be a large amount of money having to be again invested into the sport to even get that happening. So for us to allow all these hundreds of thousands of people to come play, if they do get the firearms license or not, we have to still invest in registering all of our fire blasters and facilities. So it's not going to happen overnight, and we have to look at it. Obviously, since closing our business, can we afford to keep running these events?
Toys not guns! 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 11:30! We are marching on Parliament! Well, we have the numbers, we're going there! Let's show them what we really want! Save our sport!
Those are children. So that's it for the Gel Blaster protest. I think it went pretty well. We had a nice large turnout. We started at Victoria Square, marched to SAPOL's headquarters, marched back through Victoria Square all the way to Parliament House. Unfortunately, the fight doesn't stop here. So I'll link down below to a Facebook group where you can stay updated with future protest events. Also, I'd like to give a quick plug to an event next Sunday. It's going to be at Port Adelaide, and I'll link that down below as well. But it's basically the same as a gel ball skirmish, except with Nerf blasters. So if you miss the social aspect, if you miss the running around, I'll even bring some high-powered hobby-grade Nerf to show you guys if you're interested in seeing that. I won't really use them because that would be overpowered. But yeah, if you just want to hang out, come down. Hopefully we can change gel blasters back from being a firearm to a toy, or if not that, at least make them an offensive weapon that if you use them the wrong way without a reasonable excuse, you face harsh penalties and it doesn't punish the people who use them the right way. That's it for this video. I'll see you on the next one.